Let's talk about a guy who had, well, pretty much nothing. No money, no real future, and honestly, not a whole lot of hope. But his life got completely turned upside down by one single tiny change. It's a crazy story, and we're going to get into exactly how he pulled it off. So, imagine this. You're 32 years old, and this is the question that's just echoing in your head day in and day out. That's where a man named Thomas was. He felt totally trapped, stuck, and just desperate for a way out. I mean, who hasn't felt that at some point? That feeling that you're just on a hamster wheel, going nowhere fast.
For Thomas, this wasn't just a feeling. It was his reality. He was basically living life in reverse. He worked as a night guard, pulling these brutal 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. shifts, and the pay? Barely scraping by. He was living in a tiny apartment, sleeping on a mattress on the floor, just completely disconnected from how the rest of the world worked.
And every single morning as he's dragging himself home, totally wiped out, he sees normal life happening all around him. Families having breakfast, kids heading off to school, people in suits grabbing coffee on their way to work. He was just an observer, watching it all from the sidelines. And then he'd crash into bed around 7 a.m. and just sleep the entire day away. Missed everything. It was this vicious cycle, just complete exhaustion and this heavy feeling of, how do I ever get out of this? It felt impossible. So you gotta ask, what was the breaking point? What finally changed for him? Well, it was a real 1-2 punch. First, a huge wake-up call, a family emergency with his mom that just made him realize, okay, I have to do something like right now. And then, almost like fate, he meets the successful businessman, a guy named Mr. Chun, totally by chance on the bus. And that meeting, well, it gave him a roadmap. And this is the secret sauce. This is what Mr. Chun told him. He called them the magic hours. The whole idea is that in that quiet, early morning time, when the rest of the world is dead asleep, that's your chance. That's when you can build the future you actually want. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter when your mind is sharp and nobody can bother you.
Okay, so this wasn't just some vague, hey, wake up early kind of advice. No. Mr. Chun gave him a full-on, step-by-step blueprint, a 90-day system for building a new life from scratch. So let's break down exactly what that looked like.
Now, get ready for this, because the math is kind of mind-blowing. Just 2 extra hours a day. Sounds small, right? But over a year, that's 730 extra productive hours. Think about that. That is like getting 3 extra months of productive time handed to you on a silver platter while everyone else is hitting the snooze button. It's a huge, huge advantage.
But here's the key. It's not just about being awake. It's about what you do with that time. And the blueprint is super specific about this. Hour 1, from 5 to 6 a.m., that's your build skills hour. This is for deep, focused work on something that can actually improve your financial situation. For Thomas, that was hitting free online tutorials for Excel and accounting. Then, hour 2 is all about building yourself, your body and your mind. 30 minutes of exercise to get the blood flowing, and 30 minutes to read, plan your day, or just think.
Now, Mr. Chun laid down some serious ground rules. He called them the non-negotiables. First up, no negotiation. Your alarm goes off at 5 a.m., you get up. Period. Weekends too. Second, and this is a big one, protect your sleep. Be in bed by 9 p.m. You can't burn the candle at both ends and expect this to work. It's just not possible. And third, brace yourself because you have to push through the pain. The first 3 weeks are going to be brutal. Your body's going to fight you. But after 90 days, it's not a habit anymore. It's just who you are. Okay, so that's the system on paper. Sounds good, right? But did it actually work for a guy starting from absolute zero? Let's take a look at what Thomas's 90-day journey really looked like. Day 1 was a nightmare, an absolute struggle. He had to literally force himself to sit there and watch those tutorials. But he stuck with it. And around day 21, something started to shift. He was actually waking up before his alarm. The Excel stuff, it was starting to click, to make sense. And then, day 87, the big one. The warehouse manager pulls him aside and offers him a day shift job in accounting for double his salary. I mean, just look at this transformation. It's night and day, literally. He went from being a night guard to an accountant. From feeling completely hopeless and trapped to being skilled and confident. He totally flipped the script. He wasn't a passenger in his own life anymore. He grabbed the steering wheel. And when Thomas went back to Mr. Chun to tell him the good news, this is what he said. Think about how powerful that is. The 5 a.m. routine wasn't just something he did anymore.
It was who he was. It had become a core part of his identity.
Thomas's story is incredible, right? It shows you what's possible. But here's the thing. This isn't just his story. It can be yours too. So let's talk about how you can take this inspiration and make it real.
So here's the challenge for you. 3 simple steps. Step 1, tonight. Set your alarm for 5 a.m. and do yourself a favor, put your phone all the way across the room so you have to get out of bed to turn it off. Step 2, decide. What is the one skill you are going to build in that first hour? Pick one thing. And step 3, protect your bedtime. A 9 p.m. bedtime isn't a sacrifice, it's an investment. Remember, the real enemy of your success isn't sleep, it's wasted time in the evening.
So that brings us to the big question. For you, right now, what are you going to build in your first hour tomorrow? Seriously, think about it. What's it going to be? What's that one skill, that one project, that one part of yourself you'll dedicate that magic hour to?
Let's just leave it with this. That person you want to be, that life you dream about, it's not some far-off fantasy. It's real, and it's waiting for you. It's waiting right on the other side of your alarm clock. So don't make your future self wait any longer.